Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone is having a lovely Saturday. Mine is up and down like a yo-yo. It's quiet and it's noisy, then it's quiet and it's noisy. Alexa, what's the time, please?
The time is 12:19 p.m.
Back to life, back to reality, back to the here and now. Right guys, so I want to show you something that I bought on Thursday that's been at the bottom of my bag and I've just taken it out. In the Demeltzer charity shop in Chatham High Street, when I went to the dentist on Thursday, there was this purse underneath the counter. You know, they keep things behind the glass, the things that are worth something. There was this bench wallet. Bench. So it's a wallet. It's not pristine condition. It's got scuffing. It's scuffed. It's got dirt at the bottom. It's a bit brown and manky at the bottom, but it's a bench wallet. Bench. Zip works. And there again, it's scuffed in the corners. Bench there, scuffed. And they were charging £6 for that. £6. It had been there since the 8th of November. £6. Bench wallet. I can't help but think some of this stuff that I had in my flat at Lansdowne Court when it was emptied went into a charity shop with little labels like this. You know, when people die, pass on, when they move, the relatives take out the belongings, and when they can't, if they're good enough not to be thrown in the bin, their stuff ends up in the charity shop. So yes, you could be wearing dead people's clothes. That's life. That's the way life is. We all have to get used to it. And basically you live here for a very small time on this planet, and then you depart this mortal coil as you came, with nothing. Some people have their teeth when they die, some people don't. When a baby is born, it does not have teeth. Fact. So I got that. I am trying to make the most of every day, even though it feels as if all the shit out of the shovel is being thrown onto me on a daily basis. And I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm going to put some music on, I'm going to dance, and I've got my dog to keep me company. And I don't scoff at a dog. Dogs are beautiful, dogs are wonderful, dogs help the blind. So don't scoff at a dog. Today we are having Tesco mulligatawny soup. Now normally when you have a Christmas meal, you have soup as a starter. This is my main meal of the day. I have got high cholesterol. I need to get some flab off of my stomach. So this is Tesco mulligatawny soup, vibrant and aromatic, with British beef, warmly spiced and balanced with a sweet mango chutney. 2.5 grams of fat, 1.1 grams of saturates, and it's got a hell of a lot of sugar in it. 5.6 grams of sugar, 0.64 grams of salt. So you basically put this in a saucepan and boil it for 3 to 4 minutes, or you can microwave it in a bowl for 2 minutes on 800 watts and 900 watts and stir well. For allergens, including cereals containing gluten, see ingredients in bold, and all I can see is wheat. Wheat is an allergen. There's ginger powder in here, vinegar, salt, mango, tomato puree, water and beef, along with a lot of other things. Alexa, can you put LBC radio on? I'm just going to prepare this
LBC
in a
London
microwave.
from Global Player.
Have a go, and Tories who basically don't think the prospects are very great, either that they're going to lose their seats or that they're going time to spend quite a long period in opposition, which is less fun than being in government. And it is demoralisation, and I entirely agree with Lord Hayward that the Conservative Party is so fragmented at the moment with so many different factions, and factions who are prepared to go to war against each other. I mean, don't forget we've seen purges and the whip being moved on a pretty regular basis over the last few years. So I can quite see why people are getting out. And then one final point, if you ever talk to headhunters about MPs looking for work afterwards, their advice is always be one of the first out, don't wait to be one of the last.
That's very good. I like that. Have you, Adam, had a single conversation, in private, in the dead of night, after a few, drums of whiskey or whatever, with a Tory MP who thinks that they've got a chance in hell of actually getting through the next election with a slim victory?
I don't think there's anyone running around saying that. I have talked to one or two who think that there is a path through. Notice John Curtis writing in the Times today. The headline, Conservatives may see a chink of light, but the hole is deep. I mean, the reality is we all thought it was conventional wisdom before this year that it was practically impossible for Labour to get a majority. But now the sizes of the poll leads and the result we've seen in by-elections suggest that might happen, and that certainly, I think, is changing the calculations of a lot of people at the moment, because the other thing that's happened, which is unusual, is that the Conservative Party, partly because of the bitter experience for the Liberal Democrats of the coalition, the Conservative Party doesn't have any really available coalition partners if it were to be a hung parliament, whereas the Labour Party has a panoply of them. Democratic Unionists are there. So, your calculation, I think, if you are an MP, is we're probably heading for a period of opposition. Of course, I should say that there are some MPs who rather enjoy opposition because they feel they've got much more freedom of movement, both in their outside Parliament life and within Parliament.
Well, there's one called Boris Johnson who has declared that he will be running again, to many people's surprise. What's that all about? Briefly, you, Adam, and then Lord Robert Hayward.
Well, do we believe him? I mean, the truth is, there is a deadline now of December the 5th, but traditionally, once an election is called or once an election becomes imminent, which won't necessarily be until the end of 2024, more MPs say for health reasons, family reasons, personal reasons, I'm not going to fight my seat. I mean, I don't think the list of Tories retiring, or indeed Labour people, on Monday, when the deadline's been set, will actually be the full list of those people who won't contest their seats next time round.
Lord Robert Hayward, Boris Johnson saying he'll run again in Uxbridge.
I share Adam's view, both his analysis of Boris's position and also other MPs who may well delay a decision until close to the election. Just one thing, everything Adam said, I think I agree with, but with one notable exception, and that is that the Tory party is at this point, both by desire and necessity, probably more united than it has been for at least a good year. It's learning to live with each other, but there remain groups.
But it's learning to live with each other in the full expectation of some rehab on the opposition benches?
Possibly, yes.
Adam, you've written a piece that talks about Keir Starmer's, the headline is Sly Dig Over Private School Tax, stirring up a hornet's nest that could leave him stuck. Explain briefly what you mean by that. And you mentioned the leader of the opposition earlier. I mean, what does Keir Starmer need to do in order to win the next election? Could he just sit there and say nothing like a pot plant and he'll still win? Or does he need to stir up issues like this, and at what peril?
Well, my point really is that I think Keir Starmer is a bit worried about Rishi Sunak. I think he sees Rishi Sunak as a more difficult target to have a go at than Boris Johnson, all his trust. Partly, I suppose, because they're both quite similar, sober, managerial types. And what he appears to have done this week is link the question of taxation for private education, which frankly for Labour is uncontroversial, but linked it basically to a personal attack, saying, do you realise how rich you
Stop. Right, guys, I've just prepared my mulligatawny soup in the
particularly
microwave.
well
Alexa,
with...
stop. So I've prepared my mulligatawny soup, and this is basically what it looks like. It's dark, like orange, and you've got bits in it. It's usually used as a starter, especially before Christmas, a main Christmas meal. So I'm just going to taste it, because this is what I'm trying to lose weight. It's a very strong soup. Got a very distinctive smell to it. Right guys, I'm going to eat the rest of this. See you later.